Welcome back. Last time, our favourite super spy crushed everyone in his way and was so close to finding his daughter Minji, who is trapped in a freezer warehouse. We catch President Ju and his team striding purposefully towards the docks. But wait, there's a twist. President Ju reveals his sneaky plan. Everyone must reach the destination first except for car number 1. Intriguing, right? And guess who's in charge of all the commands and decisions? It's none other than the mastermind planning director Nam. Team leader Han, currently behind the wheel of President Ju's car, questions the need to involve Nam in this matter. After all, Guy, their opponent, is just a ruffian or a neighborhood gangster. Han cheekily suggests that he can handle Guy himself, but President Ju has a counter question for Han. How long has he been working for him? Han proudly responds, 5 years. President Ju then throws a playful jab, wondering if Han might be getting tired after all this time. But Han is curious. He wants to know what kind of opponent Guy is, that they have to involve Nam in this mission. President Ju spills the beans. Guy may be a small fry, but he's one crafty jerk. Ooh, things are getting interesting. Meanwhile, back at the freezer warehouse, Guy is desperately trying to negotiate with Minji. He insists that he bears no ill feelings towards her, and that they share a common enemy. They could be a dynamic duo, stepping on their enemy together. Guy urges Minji to trust him, but she remains skeptical. She saw him kill that guard, and trust doesn't come easy. In the midst of their tense conversation, Burger staggers towards Guy, looking worse for wear. Concerned, Guy bombards Burger with questions about what happened and why he ignored the calls. But before Burger can answer, Guy's sharp mind picks up on subtle clues. Burger must have betrayed him, colluding with President Ju behind his back. Without hesitation, Guy strikes with a swift knife stab. Plot twist! But the action doesn't stop there. Mr. Kim steps forward to take revenge on Guy, but he's swiftly intercepted by Kang Min. It's an intense showdown between these two fierce opponents. Mr. Kim fights with all his might, breaking 2 of Kang Min's fingers. Ouch! Before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day. If you could have any supernatural ability from a manhwa, which one would you choose and how would you use it? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out. Now back to the recap. Nam urgently instructs his driver to reach their destination within a mere 15 minutes, and off they go, racing through the streets with adrenaline pumping. Meanwhile, at the docks, an epic showdown is about to unfold. Mr. Kim, a formidable figure, recognizes that Kang Min is no ordinary opponent. He sheds his jacket, revealing his unwavering determination to take Kang Min seriously. Curiosity strikes Kang Min as he questions Mr. Kim if he is none other than President Ju. But hold on. Guy, a voice of reason, intervenes, clarifying that Mr. Kim is not the president, but rather someone who has caused him trouble. Kang Min now knows he must confront this challenge head-on. The tension escalates as Mr. Kim launches an attack, but Kang Min skillfully evades, landing a powerful blow that cracks Mr. Kim's shoulder. Undeterred, Mr. Kim quickly recovers and retaliates with a barrage of punches. However, Kang Min counters by seizing Mr. Kim's fingers and breaking them, just as he did earlier. The battle rages on, with neither combatant willing to back down. As the odds seem stacked against Kang Min, Gaia makes a daring request. He urges Kang Min to eliminate Mr. Kim, even rip his head off. Now, Kang Min reveals his true intentions. He removes his mask, declaring his intent to end Mr. Kim's life. With a knife drawn, he prepares to strike swiftly. However, Mr. Kim, contemplating his next move, realizes that Kang Min, being around the same age as Minji, deserves mercy. He decides against killing Kang Min. In a poignant flashback, we glimpse a younger Kang Min sitting alone in an alleyway when Guy, accompanied by another man, approaches him. The man reveals Gaia as Kang Min's father, urging him to go with them. The memory sheds light on the complex relationship between them. Caught between Mr. Kim's legs, Kang Min resorts to a desperate move. He sinks his teeth deep into Mr. Kim's leg. Astonishingly, Mr. Kim refuses to release his grip, showing his unwavering resolve. Another flashback reveals Gaia paying a mysterious man for a method to control Kang Min. The man's advice? All Kang Min needs is family, so Gaia must convince him that he is his father, and Kang Min will blindly follow. As the flashback unfolds, Guy hands Kang Min a photo of a certain individual, instructing him to take care of this person. Kang Min kills the target without mercy. Later, Guy reveals that he doesn't see Kang Min as his son, just a beast who kills. Kang Min listens intently, silently processing it all. Meanwhile, Guy's words resonate in Kang Min's mind as he recalls being referred to as a beast, purchased with money. Now, back to the present, Kang Min has reached his limit, collapsing in a state of unconsciousness. With a limp, Mr. Kim perseveres, inching closer to the freezer warehouse, an ominous sign of what lies ahead. Inside the icy depths of the freezer warehouse, Minji's heart races as she realizes the perilous truth. Staying here could mean freezing to death. Fear grips her, but then a poignant memory resurfaces. She vividly recalls the scene where her father had to kneel, and in that moment she understands the depth of a parent's love and pride for their child. Meanwhile, outside the freezer warehouse, Guy's frustration mounts as he contemplates the distance they've covered amidst their intense battle. Suddenly, a mysterious sound catches his attention. Intrigued and sensing something amiss, he cautiously approaches the door to the freezer warehouse. Surprisingly, it swings open effortlessly, beckoning him inside. Entering the frigid chamber, Guy assumes Minji has ceased her resistance. Yet a chilling sight awaits him. A body lies beneath the cloth used to conceal Minji's unconscious form. Meanwhile, Kang Min rises once again, declaring that if he fails to kill his opponent, he'd meet his demise at the hands of his own father, referring to Guy. Tensions rise as Mr. Kim raises his hand, poised to strike Kang Min's face, but in a surprising twist, he refrains and questions Guy's willingness to slay his own flesh and blood. With an air of finality, Mr. Kim walks away, asserting that true families don't operate in such a manner. As a parting remark, he reveals that Kang Min is spared solely due to his resemblance to his own daughter Minji. A sudden flashback reveals Guy's desperate flight from the pursuing police, leaving Kang Min behind to confront them alone. Lost in thought about the meaning of family, Kang Min's musings are abruptly interrupted as Nam materializes behind him, swiftly snapping his neck. Nam then reports the arrival of car number 2 before declaring his intention to pursue target number 0. Inside the freezer warehouse once more, Guy, undeterred, dismisses Minji's plans, declaring her attempts futile. He stabs the body under the tarp, but much to Guy's astonishment, Minji emerges from behind him, wielding a frozen fish as her weapon of choice. In a swift motion, she strikes Guy's head with the icy projectile, rendering him unconscious. As Guy collapses, Minji can't help but mutter to herself that her father raised her well. Not much later, Mr. Kim steps into the scene, and what does he find? None other than Guy lying there next to another mysterious covered body. Cue the suspenseful music, but hold on, things get even more intriguing when Mr. Kim spots a stray woman's hair on the floor. What could it mean? Well, Guy is still alive, albeit knocked out, and Mr. Kim isn't holding back. He shakes Guy awake, demanding answers about his missing daughter. Slap! Ouch! No response though. As if that weren't enough, Mr. Kim notices a stab wound on one of them and blunt force trauma on the other. At first he suspects a fight between the two, but a clue on the ground turns everything upside down. It's a message in Minji's handwriting that reads, "Dad, I'm sorry, I'm scared. Plot twist. Minji isn't dead after all, it's a roller coaster of emotions." After a brief moment of contemplation, Mr. Kim realizes that the mastermind behind this thrilling ordeal is none other than President Ju. Determined to find his daughter, he heads out, convinced she couldn't have gone too far. Go, Mr. Kim, go! Meanwhile, Guy regains consciousness just in time to witness the door to the freezer warehouse closing. But surprise, it's Burger who's shutting him in. Guy is desperate to stop him, but before he can react, the door slams shut. Talk about suspense. Guy tries reasoning with Burger, reminding him of their history, but Burger's having none of it. He ominously informs Guy that escape is futile. Drama, drama. As tensions rise, Guy's frustration boils over, and he starts kicking the door with all his might, injuring himself in the process. Will he ever break free? Hold on to your hats. But wait, there's a sudden turn of events. The door opens, but it's not Burger on the other side. No, it's Nam, and he means business. Guy is in for a rude awakening as Nam delivers a powerful kick. Oh, the suspense. Meanwhile, in another corner of our captivating story, Mr. Kim races through the rain-soaked surroundings, calling out for his daughter. Minji hears his voice, almost convinced it's her dad, but quickly dismisses the thought. How could he possibly be here? The rain hampers his cries, but our determined hero climbs atop a container, bellowing for all he's worth. Will Minji hear him in time? Mr. Kim spots someone up the road and excitedly calls out to her, but darn it, the rain drowns out his voice and she can't hear him. Talk about bad timing. Meanwhile, Minji has just climbed up and finds herself in a bit of a pickle. She desperately needs help, but guess what? The first guy who drives by completely ignores her. Not cool, dude. Thankfully, the woman sitting beside him in the car is as baffled as we are and demands to know why he didn't lend a helping hand. And here comes the twist. He accuses Minji of being a scammer. Whoa, plot twist. But that's not the end of the surprises. Mr. Kim, undeterred by the rain, also makes his way up the road. What a determined fellow. In a chilling scene at the freezer warehouse, Nam is busy extracting Guy's golden teeth with a pair of pliers. Yikes! Guy, understandably furious, can't help but unleash a storm of curses. But Nam, not one to back down, questions why Guy did this, especially after sparing his life once before. Ah, the drama. The plot thickens as Nam drops a bombshell. He reveals that President Ju had inquired whether Guy would repeat his past actions. Whoa, President Ju must be one shady character. This revelation sends Guy into a whirlwind of memories flashing before his eyes. From being an ordinary employee at a small service company to working in construction, he had quite the journey. But wait, there's more. Guy's boss once summoned him to the top of an apartment late at night and rambled on about something utterly incomprehensible. Suddenly, without warning, Guy found himself plummeting from the building while his boss muttered a half-hearted apology. Miraculously, Guy survives the fall and confronts his boss, who confesses that he acted on someone else's orders. Justice is served as Guy takes matters into his own hands and eliminates his boss, seizing the boss position for himself. Talk about a power move. But the story doesn't end there. Guy's life takes an unexpected turn when he receives a mysterious call. It turns out President Ju wants to meet him. Curiosity piqued, Guy heads to the Mido apartment reconstruction site, the designated meeting spot. Little does he know, he's about to come face to face with the person who ordered his demise. President Ju engages Guy in conversation, but his mind is preoccupied with one thought: how to exact revenge. Realizing Guy's lack of attention, President Ju amusingly questions if he's from the countryside. He shares a personal anecdote about raising a feisty dog and being bitten a few times. Intrigued, Guy responds with a nonchalant, "So what?" That's when President Ju drops a tantalizing hint. He knows a technique to tame a fierce dog from the countryside. And just as the suspense builds to a crescendo, one of President Ju's men steps forward holding a small pot. Guess what's inside? A piping hot boiled potato. But hold on tight because things take an unexpected turn. Nam, mischievous as ever, decides to shove the scorching potato into Guy's mouth. Ouch! The poor guy ends up losing his teeth in this potato torture. But wait, there's more. After this toothy tragedy, Guy, feeling utterly defeated, decides to plead with none other than President Ju himself. He desperately begs, offering to do anything for him, even willing to become his faithful dog. Talk about a drastic career change. From that day forward, Guy claims he started living life like a dog. Woof! Now let's fast forward to the present moment. Nam, still up to his old tricks, wonders if Guy will do it again, whatever that may be. Intrigued, Guy bursts into laughter and jokingly asks what surprise awaits him the second time around. Will it be an assault, a threatening encounter, or maybe just being the scapegoat? Nam, ever the mastermind, reveals that Guy will be used to deal with politicians they don't see eye to eye with. Amidst all the chaos, Guy requests a cigarette, and one of the guys swiftly lights one up for him. Taking a drag, he turns to Nam and asks a thought-provoking question. Do you know how life tastes? Is it sweet or bitter? But before Nam can answer, Gaia chimes in, claiming that life is only sweet or bitter when it comes to girls. For men like them, it tastes like blood. Talk about a dark twist. Suddenly, the atmosphere becomes intense as Nam's men try to prevent Gaia from taking his own life. But before they can intervene, Gaia starts spitting blood. In his last breath, he shocks Nam with a revelation. Minji, the girl they thought was dead, is actually alive, and her father is desperately searching for her. This revelation triggers Nam's rage, and he strikes Guy with a fatal blow, ending his life. Filled with a newfound determination, Nam urges his men to mobilize. Minji is alive, and they must find her. But that's not all. He also instructs them to search for her father. Meanwhile, Mr. Kim, who was once in the same vicinity as Minji, experiences a wave of relief. He's grateful to know that she's still alive, but where could she be? As the story unfolds, we discover that Minji is riding in a car, completely unaware of the chaos surrounding her. On Nam's side, their search for Minji and her father hits a dead end. But just as things seem bleak, a shocking revelation rocks their world. It turns out that the person who gave Minji a lift was none other than President Ju himself. Who could have seen that coming? President Ju confides in Han, revealing that life has been full of unexpected twists and turns. But he never anticipated that Minji would willingly enter his car. Meanwhile, Minji peacefully sleeps, oblivious to the dangerous web she's entangled in. In a parallel development, Mr. Kim reaches out to someone over the phone, inquiring about the status of his license to kill. What could he be planning? Hansu revs up on his trusty motorcycle and offers Mr. Kim a ride. As they zoom away, Hansu can't help but inquire about the latest developments. Mr. Kim shares the incredible news that his daughter is alive, sending a surge of hope through their veins. But hold on tight, because there's a storm brewing, and they need to make a swift escape. Meanwhile, along the picturesque shore, Gukcheol's subordinates stumble upon a startling discovery. They find Gukcheol's belongings in the possession of an old man who traded them to Hansu for some cash. Talk about a bold move. And to add a cherry on top, Hansu leaves a cheeky note for Gukcheol, teasingly mentioning how he's covered the repair expenses using Gukcheol's own money. Ouch. Word of Hansu's antics reaches Gukcheol's ears and he erupts in fury. How could everyone be so nonchalant while they slipped away? With determination in his eyes, Gukcheol orders his subordinates to track them down by any means necessary. The chase is on. Meanwhile, inside President Ju's luxurious villa, things are heating up. President Ju, fresh out of the shower, receives an update from Han about their current location. Han reveals that Nam will be joining them shortly, but not before wrapping up some business at the freezer warehouse. Curiosity piqued, President Ju turns his attention to Minji and inquires about the situation. With a calm demeanor, Han assures him that Minji has been instructed to prepare herself. President Ju, eager to have a heart-to-heart with Minji, requests her presence. As the maid leaves the room, the stage is set for an intense conversation. Minji, with a hint of confusion, reveals that she only remembers waking up in the freezer warehouse and snippets of memories involving Guy. The plot thickens. In a pivotal moment, President Ju openly expresses his willingness to go to great lengths for Minji, even if it means covering up something unsavory. He recognizes her act of pretending to have lost her memory and asks Han to take care of her, making sure to cause her unnecessary pain. The tension builds. Just as Han prepares to administer a syringe, a sudden interruption breaks the suspense. Ding dong. At the gate stands none other than Gukcheol and his loyal subordinates. Anticipation fills the air as they wait, but Gukcheol's impatience gets the better of him. With a mighty crash, they forcefully enter the premises. In an epic flashback, we find ourselves amidst the action as Gukcheol's trusted team analyzes CCTV footage. Their eyes widen with anticipation as they share the news that Mr. Kim may be on the hunt for his missing daughter. Gukcheol, never one to back down from a challenge, decides to take matters into his own hands. With determination blazing in his eyes, he sets out to rescue Mr. Kim's daughter first. Arriving at the mysterious villa, Gukcheol wastes no time. He bursts through the door like a force of nature, ready to face whatever lies ahead. Inside, he confronts President Ju, introducing himself as a member of the prestigious National Special Mission Bureau. President Ju, intrigued yet puzzled, demands to know why Gukcheol has invaded his domain. With unwavering confidence, Gukcheol reveals that they are pursuing a suspect, and their suspicions have led them to believe that President Ju's daughter may be held captive within these very walls. President Ju, now caught off guard, queries Gukcheol about his position in the Special Mission Bureau. Gukcheol, wearing a sly grin, challenges President Ju's calm demeanor, questioning how he remains composed when faced with the power of the National Special Mission Bureau. Just as the tension builds, one of Gukcheol's subordinates rushes in, delivering the news that there is nothing of interest upstairs. Undeterred, Gukcheol turns his attention back to President Ju, dropping a bombshell question about the fabled 6 gold stars. He explains that these illustrious individuals are the cream of the crop within the Special Mission Bureau, each excelling in their respective fields, and they are en route to this very location. As the scene unfolds, we witness the 6 gold stars scaling the treacherous mountain to reach the villa, but their progress is halted when they encounter Nam, standing tall and defiant at the entrance gate. Nam, in a firm yet polite manner, requests their departure, reminding them that this is private property and that President Ju himself has prohibited anyone from entering. Unfazed, the 6 gold stars launch their attack, expecting an easy victory. However, Nam's martial prowess proves too formidable, as he effortlessly defeats them one by one, leaving the gold stars in disbelief. Meanwhile, inside the villa, Gukcheol continues his intense conversation with President Ju. Confident in his actions, Gukcheol boldly asserts that his warrant will soon be issued, emphasizing the gravity of the situation and his fearlessness in the face of adversity. President Ju, taken aback by Gukcheol's audacity, can't help but express his surprise that Gukcheol entered the premises without a warrant. Suddenly the door swings open, revealing one of the unconscious bodies of the defeated gold stars, gripped firmly by Nam. With a swift toss and a resounding thud, the door slams shut behind Nam, leaving Gukcheol dumbfounded. Seizing the opportunity, President Ju declares that he too has nothing to fear. In a distant hiding spot, Mr. Kim and his trusty companion Hansu spy on the unfolding chaos from behind a bush. Hansu, quick-witted and perceptive, remarks that since Gukcheol lost their trail, it's evident that they must have prioritized rescuing Minji, Mr. Kim's daughter. With anticipation burning in their hearts, Hansu turns to Mr. Kim, questioning their plan to extricate Minji from the villa's clutches. Mr. Kim, showing his determination and resourcefulness, scoops up a handful of soil, smearing it across his face, and confidently states that they will do what they have always done. As Hansu intervenes, he points out one of the 6 gold stars who's dashing towards the villa. Inside, Gukcheol's subordinates rush to him with good news. The warrant issue has been cancelled. But wait, the excitement doesn't end there. Gukcheol receives a call from Vice Minister Ma Jae-ho of the Special Missions Bureau. Now that's a call you don't want to miss. The Vice Minister urges Gukcheol to stop causing trouble for President Ju and return to the Bureau. In a fit of rage, Gukcheol slams the phone on the ground, showing just how fed up he is with politics. He finally realizes what President Ju meant when he said he wasn't afraid of anything. All the while, he's kicking the table in frustration. Before leaving, Gukcheol warns President Ju that he'll soon crush his pride. But as he sits in the car, he can't resist asking about the 6 gold stars. He's reassured that they are all on board, and he tells the driver to exit slowly. As the tension builds, we see Minji inside the car, and it hits us. The mission was successful, and everything was a brilliant facade, but hold your breath because there's more to come. A man rushes to President Ju, signaling that they've been caught up to. Gukcheol urgently instructs them to leave the villa. Meanwhile, President Ju is informed that Han was found unconscious in the underground. One of the 6 gold stars had struck. Ah, but there's a twist. Nam realizes why dealing with the 6 gold stars was strangely easy. In the car, Gukcheol is laughing heartily. He's calling President Ju an idiot for being deceived, despite knowing their reputation. He praises the 6 gold stars' talent for covert operations, revealing that they're more suited for search and secret missions. In a flashback, President Ju orders Han to take Minji to the underground and await his signal. As Han guides Minji down the stairs, someone saves her from the blindfolded journey. Back in the present, Minji expresses her gratitude, but the savior turns sinister, strangling her until she faints. Gukcheol applauds his fellow operative for his ruthlessness. Meanwhile, Mr. Kim is inside one of the back seats of one of the agency cars. We find ourselves amidst a wild car chase with wheels screeching and engines roaring. Amidst the chaos, Gukcheol, their fearless leader, takes a moment to acknowledge their hard work, even in the face of relentless rain. He commends their capture of the target, emphasizing the connection to the infamous Juyong construction. But this isn't just a pat on the back. Gukcheol knows they can't let their guard down. He urges them to avoid answering any external calls and raises the stakes by emphasizing the need for heightened security. It's time to bring their A game. Inside the car, the curiosity bug bites one of the gang members. He wonders aloud why Mr. Kim is such a big deal. Well, my friend, hold on to your seat because the answer is mind-blowing. Another comrade leans in to spill the beans. Turns out Mr. Kim has not 1 but 2 attempts at assassinating North Korea's supreme leader under his belt. And get this, one of those attempts happened while he was still a soldier, and the other when he desperately wanted out of the service. Talk about audacity. But wait, there's no time for chit-chat, because suddenly Mr. Kim locks eyes with the inquisitive agency member, and a ferocious brawl ensues right there in the car. It's a wild showdown as punches are thrown, adrenaline surges, and the fight reaches its climax when Mr. Kim pulls off a jaw-dropping double chokehold on both his opponent and the driver. It's a cinematic moment that leaves everyone gasping for breath. Meanwhile, the rest of the gang in the other cars sense the unexpected commotion. The car jerks and swerves, setting off alarm bells in their heads. Something's gone down, and just when they think things can't get any crazier, they witness Mr. Kim taking the wheel and speeding off into the night. Desperate to contact Gukcheol and inform him of the chaos unfolding, the agent tries reaching out, but alas, static interference renders their efforts futile. But fear not, for our fearless Mr. Kim takes charge. He grabs the radio and boldly calls out to Gukcheol, ensuring his voice cuts through the static. His message is clear and chilling. Gukcheol's beloved daughter is with him, and if a single hair on her head is harmed, it'll be game over for everyone involved. Talk about a high-stakes hostage situation. Gukcheol, caught off guard by the unexpected turn of events, musters his composure and responds to Mr. Kim's threat. He challenges him, asking what he can possibly do now that they've reached their headquarters. But Gukcheol's not one to back down easily. He cunningly reveals that his daughter is by his side, goading Mr. Kim to make haste. And just to add a dash of mischief, Gukcheol cheekily requests a present from Mr. Kim. The tension between them crackles through the air. With Gukcheol on the line, his mind starts racing. He swiftly issues commands to his team, maximizing security measures. He orders the main entrance to be blocked off and instructs his gang to fan out, creating an impenetrable barricade spanning a whole kilometer. The stakes have never been higher, and Gukcheol is determined to stop Kim from getting his daughter at all costs. As plans unfold, Gukcheol's mind wanders to the impending one-on-one interrogation with Minji, undoubtedly an electrifying encounter in the making, but amidst the anticipation, his thoughts veer back to the mysterious present promised by Mr. Kim. What kind of surprise awaits him? The excitement bubbles within him, adding another layer of suspense to the already intense situation. But hold on tight, because there's one more surprise hiding in the shadows. As the scene draws to a close, we catch a glimpse of Hansu, a shadowy figure lurking beneath the car that Gukcheol came in. The headquarters bristled with heightened security measures, an air of tension palpable in every corner. Within its fortified walls, a gripping scene unfolds as Minji, her eyes reflecting a mixture of fear and defiance, faces a relentless interrogation by the elite special forces. Their questions cut deep, probing into the very essence of her father's identity. With unwavering conviction, she asserts that he is nothing more than an ordinary individual. However, the atmosphere shifts dramatically as Gukcheol, a formidable figure within the ranks, steps forward with a revelation that shatters Minji's perception. He coolly discloses the truth. Her father is no ordinary man but a renowned spy, a shadowy enigma closely monitored by foreign powers. Minji's world tilts on its axis as this revelation sinks in. Tempers flare and frustration surges through Gukcheol's veins as he delves into the reason behind a recent chaos traced back to Mr. Kim, Minji's father. A seemingly trivial altercation between children has snowballed into a mess of unforeseen proportions, and Gukcheol's patience wears thin. He barks orders, his voice echoing with authority, commanding his subordinates to take down Mr. Kim without hesitation. Yet, amidst this chaos, a sudden interruption ripples through the scene as the Vice Minister's urgent call slices through the tense atmosphere. A flicker of realization lights up Minji's eyes, and a fresh-faced newcomer rushes to investigate the unexpected summons. Finding nothing amiss, he retreats, only to fall prey to an ambush from above, orchestrated by the enigmatic Hansu. In the aftermath of the unexpected attack, Hansu's commanding presence takes charge. His words are laced with urgency as he instructs Minji to reunite with her father, setting in motion a heart-pounding escape. Together, they navigate the labyrinthine corridors, each step a precarious dance to avoid detection. Yet fate is unrelenting, and their attempts to remain inconspicuous are foiled. Hansu's swift and calculated action dispatches their pursuers, leaving them incapacitated and in their wake. As the dust settles, Vice Minister Ma Jae-ho materializes, his voice thundering with reprimand directed at Gukcheol. Accusations of overstepping boundaries and involving innocent civilians cut through the tension, prompting a tense standoff. In defiance, Gukcheol defends his actions, painting a dire picture of a conflict with former legends that transcends the ordinary. In the midst of this heated exchange, the atmosphere darkens once more as a formidable special armed unit corners Hansu and Minji, their intentions clear. The world narrows to a claustrophobic circle as the notorious Baekdusan special forces close in, hemming them in on all sides. Gukcheol, a stern and imposing figure, issues precise commands aimed at ensuring the safety of Hansu and the recapture of Minji, an intense mission with stakes as high as ever. In a climactic moment, as they find themselves trapped and outnumbered, Minji's keen eyes detect a peculiar sight above them, threads hanging ominously. A shocking realization unfolds as Ma Jae-ho becomes ensnared by these threads, causing a collective gasp from the onlookers, and Minji's heart sinks as she beholds her own father dangling in the air. His voice carries through the tense air, urging them to find safety together. In a dramatic turn of events, Ma Jae-ho commands everyone to disarm, attempting to use his own life as a bargaining chip. However, Gukcheol, a man with a strategic mind, dismisses the notion, citing the impossibility of escaping through the heavily guarded front gate. Yet, hope arrives unexpectedly in the form of Mr. Kim and Hansu, who bring reinforcements just in the nick of time. The situation escalates further when a sudden explosion ruptures the wall, sending Gukcheol hurtling away. It is Mr. Kim's call for Park Jincheol, a battle-hardened war veteran, that turns the tide. Jincheol expertly hurls a grenade toward Mr. Kim, who skillfully redirects it, causing an explosion that targets the amassed weapons. As the chaos swirls around them, Mr. Kim inquires about their escape vehicle, only to discover Jincheol's unpreparedness due to his rushed arrival. Frustration runs deep as Gukcheol ruthlessly eliminates Ma Jae-ho, taking command and urging his forces to attack. But the resilience of the three middle-aged men, wearing glasses that belie their formidable strength, proves too formidable for their opponents. Minji finds solace in watching her father's back, feeling a renewed sense of security. A member of the elite Baekdusan Special Force steps forward, issuing a challenge that Mr. Kim promptly accepts by swiftly engaging him in combat.